Hi, my name is Luisa Rodriguez, and you're watching Soleful Discussions.
All right, so hi, how are you doing today?
Hi.
All right,
Good.
all right.
I'm doing good.
Great. How did we meet today?
You just approached me. I was reading a book in the park,
She's reading her
and
book, and let me see the book title. Okay,
Oh.
let's see the title. Okay, cool, love it. All right.
yeah.
And so I approached you. What did I approach you about? What are we doing?
You told me like you do YouTube videos about mental health and
Two other topics.
reflexology,
Reflexology. One more.
and I don't remember the other one.
Feet. Absolutely. So let me ask you this: when you hear the word feet, what do you think about first? First thing goes through your mind.
A massage.
Okay.
Pain.
Okay.
Um,
I'm hoping that your husband is giving you lots of stuff like
yeah,
that. Oh,
I'm
sure.
not really disgusted by feet, so
Lovely.
I'm just like, yeah, I love when a good massage
That's
comes
lovely.
from.
Okay, we're gonna ask you a few different questions about your thoughts about feet. Just feel free to answer however you like.
Okay.
What about mental health? What do you think about with that?
I think nowadays is like a topic that is really popular.
Yep.
And I think it's really good that it's popular because a lot of people are struggling, and I think became popular after the pandemic.
Yes.
So I think it's really important to tackle, to have community, to have someone to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes.
It's hard, man. Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit about dealing with like stress, anxiety. You can tell me some of the things you've like learned in your experiences, and I'll tell you some things that I've learned. Okay.
Sure.
Let me ask you this before we go to reflexology. Do you think feet and mental health correlate in any kind of way? Can you see a correlation there?
Yes, I think for me, because I like to my husband or myself touch my feet, I feel like somebody, I think it was a doctor that told me once that actually she was doing a massage, and like she was like, oh, you contain a lot of stress.
A lot of stress in your feet. Yeah.
So she started like pushing like this part, and I was like, oh my god, this is so painful.
Yeah, but it's good to get that pain out.
Yeah,
right?
and she was like, oh my god, you contain a lot of stress there. And like since that experience, I started doing it myself.
Absolutely.
And not every day, but when I do it, it's like, oh, that's a good.
It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Cool.
So I think, it's.
It could be a correlation.
Yep.
I love it. Cool. Reflexology. Does that sound familiar?
I think I've heard before, but I don't really know the difference of like what's the concept.
No worries. I'm gonna give you information about that today. You just tell me what your thoughts are about it.
Okay.
Cool. Let's start with the first question. What are your thoughts about like what's something you think we can do in the world to like improve mental health awareness? Like what can we do today?
I think have community.
Okay.
Especially I'm from Colombia.
Yeah.
So I'm like the new in town.
Yeah.
And I think community for me is being like a lot, and like not just my husband community, but create my own community.
Yep.
And have those friends that you can talk to. I feel like for me, mental health, it's a lot of talking and like
talk therapy.
Talk to people and like how I feel. So for me, just find that community, find someone to speak to.
Absolutely.
And also just push to the point of like, oh, I'm feeling trapped in this, I'm feeling lonely in my example.
Yeah.
I need to go out. I need to push myself to find those positive activities and not just like staying at home. Like I work at home, so it's even worse for me. Just like just working at home, don't have community. Like just being in the party is like, oh, people, people running, people reading. It's like, oh, I feel like maybe they're not my friends, but I feel like I'm surround people. It's a good thing to do.
Absolutely. Fill in the blank on this next question, okay? The world would be better if
they will have God.
Yes, all right. I love that. And I think that having that thing to look at, person to look to, like provides you with like some type of like. I think sometimes people feel stressed, right?
Yeah.
Having that faith in something that's like of a higher power than you, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because we don't have all the answers, man.
Yeah.
If we try to go based on what we know, like you're gonna be in trouble. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In terms of like if a friend or loved one was like dealing with like stress, anxiety, anything like that, is there anything you would do or say like to them to like help them like get out of that?
Yeah. I think what I've learned, especially like in with my husband,
Yeah.
it just asks, "Hey,
Yeah.
how do you feel today?" And like, "Hey, it's something I can do." And sometimes the answer is no. You
Yeah.
cannot do anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And instead of me trying to fix it,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, so it's good that some days people just want company and they
Yep.
don't want to say anything. They don't
Yep.
want to like deal with it. Yeah, so I think just ask how the other people are doing and here.
That's right. Listen, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes people just want to vent, right? They don't even need you to like say anything. Just
Yeah.
listen to what I'm saying. Absolutely. So that way I don't feel like I'm alone. In terms of the next question, you don't have to go too in depth with this one. You can give a surface level answer if you want. In terms of anxiety, is there anything that brings you anxiety? And then, if so, when you feel like you're having an anxious moment or you feel anxious, do you have any coping mechanisms or
Yeah.
anything you do to counteract how you're feeling?
I think before coming here to US, I was really anxious because I left behind like my
Everything,
family, my
You're
friends. So it was
starting over.
like it was a lot of anxiety about future. I
Yeah.
think for me that's like a trigger of like
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
gonna happen. And I think it's a lot of like having time with God for me,
Yeah.
having friends,
Okay.
and like talk about it.
Yeah.
I think for me, when I feel lonely, I just call someone and like, hey, I feel this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so spirituality is key for me.
Absolutely.
Community, I think I repeated that before.
Yeah, but I think that you're hitting on something that's very important, right? Because I think that a lot of times we think that we're only fighting a battle that's like a physical or a mental battle, but spirituality, like those three things
Yeah.
combined, right, can like make up us as a whole. So
Yeah.
I think you're definitely right in that. This next question: if somebody gave you the power, right, to change something about yourself, right? They said you can change whatever you want. Now it doesn't have to be something physical. It could be a behavior you have. Is there anything you would change? Yeah, you don't have to have something. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'm just like,
because you're like, I wonder. Yeah.
yeah, I used to have a lot of control,
Okay.
but I think my husband is the opposite of me. So
Oh.
he's like more chill and like
Yeah.
outgoing. So it's like, I think it kind of like a learning to
Start evens you out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I feel like that would be something like, oh, I will change, but I think I'm learning
Yeah.
as I go.
Because
So
you have somebody who's the other half of you.
yeah, so I
Yeah.
feel like I'm like, oh, I don't know if I will change that because I don't consider myself that way anymore.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's something I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fill in the blank on this next question, okay? When I think about my feet, I feel. What do you feel when you think about your own feet?
My feet,
Yeah.
they're pretty.
Okay. So let me ask you this: have you ever received compliments about your feet? Has anybody ever said to you, "I think you have nice feet"? Has that ever
Yeah.
happened? Okay. When you got a compliment about that from somebody, in the moment when you got the compliment, how did it make you feel? Like, what was the feeling?
That I should show them more.
It's like, why am I hiding this? Let me,
Yeah.
let people see. So let me ask you this: in terms of compliments you receive from men and women, is there a certain compliment, like a certain group that you prefer compliments more from? Do you prefer it more from men or more from women?
I think women.
Women?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
I feel like, I don't know, in Latin America, when a guy, like a random guy compliments you, it's like
Oh, he wants
dirty
something.
or
Yeah.
weird. So I feel like you used to have this mechanism of like, I don't want guys to
I'm
compliment
not
me.
even, don't even bother. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would prefer women.
Absolutely. So
Because of
let me
that.
ask you this, because this is interesting, because you said like in Latin America, like it's like that. Your experiences here, when somebody's approached you, is it the same or is it a little different?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, like I was once at the park and the guy was like kind of weird. I was like, no. But it doesn't happen too often.
Too often, so it's a little less
Yeah.
than what it is. Okay, cool. In terms of the compliments you receive throughout your life, right? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of compliments.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of compliments you receive throughout your life, is there a certain compliment that when you look back on it, you're like, man, that really made my day. It made me feel good. It's probably something your husband said, I would imagine. He said something to you and you're like, that part right there.
Yeah, people said a lot that I care a lot about people.
Okay.
That I'm a good friend.
Nice.
So that's really nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are considered to be good friends.
Yeah.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when my sister called me from Colombia, she's like, "Oh, you're too white." Like we have a good friendship is like cool that you have someone that is like, "Oh, thank you for that."
That's amazing.
So
man.
yeah.
That's amazing. How often do you get pedicures?
Not often.
Not often. Okay. Are we saying like only on special occasions,
Yeah.
things like that? Okay.
Only for a special occasion.
Is it because like you tend to be busy, or like you don't want to waste money on that? Like, what is the reason?
I don't really grow up like doing my nails or my feet, so it's just for a special occasion. It's like, oh, you have a party, let's do it. So it never was like, oh, let's do it while I'm watching TV. You know, like some
so it's
girls.
Not a tradition for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, I don't need it.
Okay.
You know, like it's not like something like
it's not a need. Yeah, absolutely. Let me ask you this: have you ever heard of a medical pedicure before? Does that sound familiar?
No.
All right. So that's when you go see a podiatrist, specialist of the foot. What they do is they take a look at your toenails to make sure your toenails are growing correctly, that they're healthy. They check your toe alignment to make sure your toes are looking good. They check your feet for like dead skin, fungus. They do all the work there with like medical grade equipment. It's actually the cleanest possible pedicure you could get, right? These pedicures are more about like giving you information to like what's happening with your feet as opposed to just like cosmetics, right? What would your thoughts be on seeing something like that who could give you like more insight into like what's happening with your feet?
It sounds cool, but I don't think I will take it because it feels like, oh, like I don't go to pedicures either. I feel like, oh, this is an extra step to, maybe I will go if I will have something wrong with my feet.
Right?
Like, oh, like a fungus or like this is really bothering me.
Yeah.
So I will take that extra step to do that, but not right now.
So it's interesting. So like, you think about the dentist, right? A lot of people say the same thing about dentists. Like, if I don't have a toothache or something, like, why am I going to the dentist, right? But a lot of times you can do things that prevent you from having problems down the road, right? That's what podiatrists say. They say people wait till they have a problem later on in life, and then now the problem is so bad they can only do minor things to help, right? So I'm saying, like, if you knew that you could prevent something from happening by, I go see somebody and they tell me what's happening, would you think that's helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I want to get to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, husband, if you're watching this, maybe get her, one of those medical pedicures. She's gonna get checked out. There it is.
Yeah.
In terms of shoes, how often you wear like open-toe shoes, sandals, flip-flops, things like that?
Just in summer.
Okay, so when it's more hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And more like a sneaker, like this one's.
Comfort.
Yeah, comfort.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: if you could only pick one style of shoe or a brand of shoe to wear for like the rest of your life, or you couldn't wear anything else, what would it be?
I will pick slippers.
Slippers. Give me them house shoes. Any special kinds like Uggs or anything like that?
I just have these ones that my sister-in-law gave me on Christmas. That is like a happy smile face.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like
and you enjoy
close and in the back they're open.
Ah, nice. So you're like, man, this feels good. I love that. I love that. How often you go barefoot? No shoes?
Never.
Never?
Yeah.
Never.
I don't. I was raised that way.
Is it because now this is what I usually hear from most Latino women I speak to. Is it the thing about like you get things through your feet, like you can like get like different, you can get sick like through your feet and stuff like that. So that's why you're like, I ain't touching that ground. No.
Yeah, and like in Colombia, I used to like live in a really cold weather.
Yeah.
So it was like always something this comment of like, oh, you're gonna get cold, or like you're gonna get flu, or like because the floor was always cold.
Always cold, yeah. So like putting your feet on there, I could get that absolutely. Have you ever heard of earthing and grounding before? Does that sound familiar?
No.
It's like going barefoot in grass, dirt.
Oh
sand.
yeah, I heard.
So like people do it because it's like something you could do like meditative. Like imagine that you had that was kind of low. Imagine you had like a long day at work, right? And you were like, man, today was like a really stressful day. Something that you could do that doesn't cost you any money. 10, 15 minutes of your time. Go outside, stand in some grass, right?
Yep.
What you do is you try to focus on what's happening in the moment. So right now, I feel the soft grass against my feet. I feel a cool breeze. I hear like the birds chirping. Like when you do that, what happens is you stop focusing on like what happened before, and you start focusing more on what's happening in the moment. And so it's almost like a reset button. So you went home. I was feeling stressed before. Reset.
I heard that before.
Yeah.
I think a friend does it, and she was like, "This is really cool."
Would that be something you would try?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it could be helpful. I know about the stuff with your feet, but 10-15 minutes, you can always go back inside, clean your feet back off. You're good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So now, in this moment right now, can we see what your feet look like?
Sure.
All right. Cool. First of all, what size shoe do you wear?
36.
Is that like a 7? Or what
It's like a 6.
Oh, like a 6. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Leave your socks on for now.
Okay.
Just take both shoes off, and then I'm just going to have you put your feet down flat like this first, okay? I'm going to give you some information.
I don't promise anything.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm going to give you some information about your feet first, though. So let me ask you this. Does your toes go from big to small, or is your second toe longer?
I think my second toe is
Slightly longer?
But it's slightly.
Slightly.
It's like kind of the
Just
same.
barely. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there's different type of toe alignments you have.
Yeah.
If your bigger toe is bigger, it's called an Egyptian toe alignment. And if that second toe is slightly longer, it's an Grecian, a Greek toe. Mm-hmm. So there's different ones. They have a Romanian. There's what's the other one I'm thinking about? Oriental. Like for people who tend to be Oriental, they're almost like the same size.
Yeah.
And there's just different kinds. So like, yeah, you have the Grecian toe alignment. So there you go.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let me have you.
Egyptian.
Well, we'll see. Let me see if you saw something. We'll see. So put your feet out straight like this. Oh, put your legs like flat.
Like this?
Straight. Yeah, there you go. Cool. All right. And now you can take your socks off. Okay. So let's see here. And then, so put your feet down flat first so we can see that toe alignment. And yeah, you're right. It is almost like they're really like the same. It's like now, none is like really over. There's a different type of toe alignment with that. And I think that's the Roman. So you might have the Roman toe alignment, I'm thinking. Absolutely. And your toes look very healthy. I can tell, like, you take care of them. You clean them and chip them and all that stuff. So you take care of them. That's great. All right, cool. Let's put your feet back out straight. How you had them before? Okay. And
I don't know.
Okay.
I used to get like...
You're fine. The calluses and stuff. Did you play sports? Like
no, I just walk a lot.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Don't worry about that. All right, so let me ask you this. How are you feeling in the moment? Like, we're asking you some questions. We're looking at your feet now. How are you feeling?
Weird.
Weird? I'm
Yeah.
glad you said that. Okay, cool. Leave your feet out. We'll go through a couple more exercises, okay? But you said weird.
Yeah.
Let me give you the mental health of what started my channel. So I was kind of telling you about it before, exposure therapy, right? So a lot of times that comfort zone of ours, right? We're like, I'm comfortable over here. But the moment we do something that's like out of that comfort zone, we start thinking like, wow, what am I doing? What's happening?
I'm showing my feet.
Yeah, you're showing your feet. But like, let me ask you this. Is anything bad happening? Did any lightning come down and strike you or anything like that? So nothing bad. You just feel nervous.
It's just like, I feel like because feet are always covered.
Okay.
Like it's like, oh, you know, like I'm showing something I never show.
Okay.
Because I don't wear sandals that often.
Okay.
So it's like I'm showing you something.
So it's something new for you.
Yeah.
No experience. But you feel a little nervous at first, right?
Yeah.
But nothing crazy is happening, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So my whole channel is designed around that. So when we're going along, you say I'm asking all these questions, and then we get to this point. My point is to see, do you continue to be comfortable? Do you start to feel like what's happening? I feel a little nervous. What's going on? And why do you feel like that, right? So the whole point of my channel is to try to like make it more of a positive experience around feet, because a lot of people look at feet as being weird or like it's a negative thing. And I'm like, everybody has feet, so like why is it a negative thing, right? Like it's like, right, you get what I'm saying? Like everybody has them, so why are you like weirded out by it, right? So that's what my channel's about. What do you think about my channel, trying to like bring more positivity to the subject of feet?
It's really cool. I actually follow, I don't know the name of the channel, but this guy that interview kids.
Interesting.
Have you seen the corn kid? It's like,
the corn kid, yeah, absolutely.
I love that channel.
Absolutely, that's dope. So let's talk about reflexology, and then we'll wrap up the interview, okay? So reflexology is all about the different pressure points you actually have in your hands and in your feet, right? Those pressure points actually like connect to different parts of your body. So that's why when you said you went to go see the massagist, like she was telling you all that stress you're holding in your feet, right? Those different areas like relate back to different parts of our body. So like if you go get a massage, or if you do acupuncture, if you do acupressure, you can actually like alleviate like stress and tension to those different parts of your body. Yeah. So let's say, for example, you're somebody who deals with migraines. There's actually a portion of your hands and feet you can massage that alleviates the tension you feel in those moments. It's also a piercing you can get in your ear does the same thing. Yeah. What are your thoughts about that? How do you feel about that? You think that's a good thing, a bad thing?
I think it is. Okay. Like I believe like your body is more than just like
Hold on, we'll go through a couple more.
a physical.
Uh-huh.
It's also like how you feel,
Yeah.
how you eat. So I feel
Okay.
like it can relate of the pains we have in our body to
Absolutely.
pressure points that you're saying.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it makes sense.
Nice. So when we get to talking about reflexology, we like to talk about sensitivity, right? Let me ask you this: how ticklish do you tend to be sensitive on your feet? How ticklish? When you've gotten pedicures. Have you ever been like, eh?
Yeah, but when they like
The pumice
do,
stone.
yeah, that one is like.
All right, I have a trick for you. Now, do you mind if we test it? I'm using a tool to do it. Do you mind if we test it? That way I can give you my trick.
It's like a tool.
It's a tool that I'm using. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with your right foot. We're gonna move to the left. I want you to tell me where you feel it at the most, and then tell me which foot you feel it on the most. Okay? Sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Hold on 1 second. I got a lot of stuff in here. You mind holding that for me for 1 second? Just hold it. And then, let's see. I actually just closed it. So what we're gonna do is start with the right. So feet back out. How you having? And then we're gonna start right. Tell me where you feel it at the most, and then we're gonna try the left. And you tell me if that one is worse. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Okay. What's the sensitivity? 1 out of 10.
Like 8.
Like an 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try
Like
the left.
I can like hold it.
You can hold it, but just
But
barely.
it's like,
okay. All right. Let's try the left. 1, 2, 3, and is this one less or worse?
It was kind of the same.
Kind of the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I want you to do. Right foot back out. What we're gonna do is I want you to wiggle your toes while I'm doing it. You tell
Like
me if
this?
you feel. Yeah, just wiggle. Do this. Move it. Okay?
Move it.
You ready? Go ahead. Move it. Okay. And keep moving.
Oh. Less.
Do you know why?
No.
So think about this, right? Your mind's connected to every part of your body, right? If you send a signal, do this, right? It's almost like a distraction for you, right?
That's really cool.
But at the same time, when you move like this, it moves the energy. So the spots that it's like hitting, you can't feel it because the energy is moving every time. So that's a trick for you. When they do the pumice stone, move your toes a little bit. Okay, let's try your left.
That's really cool.
Absolutely. So wiggle and yeah.
Yeah.
Less,
nothing.
right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so we got 2 more things to do. First, feet back out, straight. What I want you to do first, bend your toes, make a fist. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort from that.
Bend your toe like this.
Yeah, but keep your feet straight and just bend your toes.
Like
is that
this?
easy to do? Is that hard to do?
It's easy.
It's easy. Okay, relax. Spread your toes. Tell me if you feel pain or discomfort. Do you feel any spread?
Like this.
Oh, so it's a little hard to do.
I can do it with this, but not.
Okay, you can't spread them all the way. Okay, I got a trick for you that you can do at home. Okay, relax. Wiggle your toes for about 10 seconds. Tell me if you feel any pain or discomfort happening. Wiggle. Easy to do, hard to do.
Easy to do.
Do you feel any pain happening after a while? All right, cool. So that's something you could do at home actually to practice on more stuff. But here's one more thing we have for you. So you mentioned sometimes carrying stress in your feet, right? And massages, right? What I want you to do, try this. Tennis ball. So what I want you to do, just roll your foot across it.
Like this?
Yeah, and then just tell me what you're feeling while you're doing it. Does it feel like it's like a relaxing? You feel like almost like...
Yeah, it's really good.
Absolutely. So this is good for your legs as well as your feet. Try your left. Let's see how the left. All right. Feels good, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you a golf ball. I want you to tell me what the difference is when you try a golf ball instead. Because golf balls are a little bit smaller. So it tends to get into like some of those areas that sometimes you can't reach.
Yeah.
With the tennis ball. So try this. And then tell me, how does that one feel? Better?
This one feels like it's getting in.
More into those areas, right? Absolutely. So this is something you can do. Like if you go to Target, whatever, you can buy some golf balls, tennis balls. All you do is you just roll your foot across it, and it basically helps you like loosen up some of those muscles and tendons. Cool. Let's wrap up the interview now.
Yeah. Can I put my socks?
You're good. You're good. Put your socks on. Let's wrap up the interview. So let me get your thoughts about, first of all, when I approached you, came up, I said, hey, can we do an interview for my YouTube?
Yeah.
Did you think my approach was good? Was it bad? How did you feel about it?
It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. In terms of the interview, start to finish, could you see how everything was going along in the line? Did it make sense to you? Did you learn anything new from the information I provided?
Yes, I learned a lot. And
especially not to be ticklish, right? Now
yeah.
You got a trick for yourself now.
And I think like you walk people to the conversation that way, like at the end they can like expose the feet.
Yeah.
Because maybe if you will ask them like, show me your feet at the beginning, they will like, no.
Yeah. And so the whole point of the interview is supposed to be, so we're having this discussion, right? Most people tend to be more comfortable, like as we're discussing, but then we get to that part, throw that in. Do you continue to be comfortable, or do you all of a sudden just like be like, nah, I'm not comfortable anymore?
It was weird, but I think because you made the first steps, it was like, I can trust you. That's why I'm saying, like, if you would have switched
If it
the
would've been the
order, it would
opposite.
no. Like, it would be like, I don't know.
Absolutely,
You
I
know?
definitely get. So let me ask you this: the last thing I want to ask you, something that you can say to my channel that can be like helpful from a mental health standpoint. Maybe it's a life lesson you learned. Maybe it's wise words somebody shared with you. Anything that you could say that could be helpful.
I think something I learned today is be open and try
Nice.
new things.
Absolutely. Because you were talking at first and you were like, I don't know, I'm kind of shy. But let me ask you this, like, now that you did it, do you feel a little bit better? Did you feel like a little bit?
It was like a highlight of my day. It was kind of cool.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. We definitely appreciate you stopping to do this interview with us. All right. And we hope that you have a great one, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool.